So, hello everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Who's Developing Now. We have an awesome person here. We have Jasson McMorris from Siege Games. He is the creator of Crea here, and he's the man behind Siege Games. Not the only person working on it, of course, but the kind of the person spearheading it and doing a pretty big bulk of the work. Of course, Kelly is pretty much doing all the stuff that we look at, and that's totally awesome. Storybook artist. I would introduce her as well, but she's not around this weekend, so maybe next time. But anyway, Jasson, why don't you kind of talk about a little bit of who you are, your background with games, and kind of where things are at and how you got to this point. And while that's going on, let's connect to that brutal multiplayer server and see how we can fare.
Okay. All right. Well, hello everyone. So I get to talk and also try to survive. Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sure many people here already know about Crea. But for those that don't, I've been working on Crea for 2.5 years now. Before that, I was working on lots of miscellaneous projects that never saw the light of day. But yeah, so Crea is going awesome, and I work on it full time. We just released a huge update recently that completely changed how combat works, and now we're working on Steam Workshop support and a new boss and lots of new awesome content and features.
Very cool. Very cool. When I first started playing the game, I'd have to say we started with a very nice vertical slice of gameplay. My controls don't appear to be responding right now. Escape works, but nothing else.
Multiplayer.
Oh, because I'm dead.
It looks like that's a bug. How'd you?
I think I logged off when I was dead.
Oh yeah.
Whoops.
I think.
You don't have a revive spell, do you?
Not yet.
Do you have a character that does have it that you could bring in real quick?
No.
Okay.
If you go into single play, I think it's broken with the maybe in server. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. So yay, a bug already. We found right off the bat.
Yeah, that's nope. Wait, yes. All right, alive on single player. All right, coming back for multiplayer. Shenanigans. Hey, what up, Serial? Yeah, partying it up. I'm sure you. So I'm gonna grab some of these crystal shards here. Actually, let me turn down the game sound a little, because that's... There. That's a little better. Still has a hell of a clank to it. Let me adjust it in my mixer. I don't,
Yeah.
Don't
The
think
sounds in Crea are just too strong.
a little bit. I mean, they're well defined, but they just kind of cut through the music and everything else. Let me bring up my mixer here. There we go. Alright, so... Whoops. Oh well. I misclicked and fired at a Corridon that was low hanging apparently, so...
Watch out, they will just cut you down.
Yes, they will.
I'm planting seeds.
Good luck. So I have the
Oh.
pillar spell, but I guess there isn't a green element that works with it.
No, there is.
Oh. For some reason, I still
Oh,
can't cast it.
it's yeah. That's something we're going to be working on, trying to convey better. Um, you need to. So as you like, if you channel or cast spells, you'll gain channeling points. That's you
Oh,
can see
I
that above your
see.
life.
I
Um,
see. So that's what the
and
number
so the
means.
pillar requires you to have some channel.
Whoops. Everything kind of lagged for a second there.
Oh, I missed. I keep missing.
It's got a
It's
heck of...
hard.
Yeah, mine don't even seem to be deploying. I'm left clicking around. Can't quite hit the spot. There, it cast once, but it didn't actually come up. Weird.
There we go.
There.
Oh.
Yeah.
He shot that at you, and then I like jumped behind you, and then yeah, you took the bullet for me. You're so brave. Oh, I have
Dang.
1 hit point. Wow. How did I even end up with that? Yeah, so did we want to invite other people here?
Oh yeah. Anybody wants to come in? The server. I can post it in the chat here. Damn. Let me switch weapons here and deal with.
So
these.
it is a hardcore server.
Well, not necessarily hardcore so much as high difficulty. Basically, what happened
Yeah.
is it's been running persistently for a little while here, and well, you see, the creatures keep getting more powerful whether the players are here or not. Was I just healing a torch? I think I was. No, I just can't heal myself. I see. The temporary health damage and such.
So the Querden are actually weak to ground. The stone element. Ouch.
It appears I'm having trouble using the way cluster. Do you see it kind of running around on my feet there?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Well, it's not restoring me to maximum. Actually, it did restore my health, it looks like. I take that back.
Am I running around all weird?
Yeah. You have a crystal on your butt.
Oh no, it's perma crystal butt.
Oh, wait. That got rid of it, it looked like.
Oh, I
Yeah.
switched to a weapon? Oh,
Yeah, swinging.
Oh, I think I see what's going on.
Oh, cool. So,
Bugs.
anyway, yeah, so Crea has come a long way from, like, not only from where I first saw it, but really, like, when you very early showed on, you know, or very early on showed what you had been working on, like the super early stuff where it was just this really blocky world, didn't have any clean art or anything, and really stiff, and you could just kind of go around and harvest a little bit.
Yeah, it has definitely been, slowly being improved upon, getting better and better. Oh yeah, we're just chopping down. Oh, Corden still got you.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if I can spend some points to level up a little bit. What we really probably need, more than anything, is to seal off this area and actually turn it into a defensible position. By the way, anybody, if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out. So, has I know you'd been working on water a little while back. Is it pretty much where it's going to be for a little bit, or are you going to be doing anything else to adjust it?
Water? Oh, it's. I would say it's in like an alpha state. Yeah, I plan to do a lot with water. It hasn't really been tweaked very much, but the look of it right now is not anywhere near final. I plan to actually use the shader to make it look awesome. And yeah, we also are planning to add in like I would say kind of like an ocean biome, but it's not quite an ocean. It'll be a large body of water, with monsters inside of it, and
Got him.
nice. Come here.
Anyway, sorry, continue with.
Yeah, so it's nighttime again. The monsters are out in full force. Okay, yeah. So I'm planning to try to make water much more visually appealing, and also try to bring a lot more water into the game. So you'll find more water underground. You'll find a lot more water on the surface, in the like the plains biomes and the jungle, but also there'll be like a biome that is kind of focused around water.
That would be pretty cool.
So,
Is
yeah,
it going to
so
be like some sunken ruins or something, or?
Right now we haven't designed it all out yet. We just know it is going to be like an ocean type biome or a lake, so there'll be creatures down below, and yeah, we haven't figured out the exact details yet. And we're also trying to keep some things kind of secret,
Yeah.
exciting.
I gotcha.
Like we have a new biome that we have planned that I'm excited about that we'll be putting in this next update.
Ooh.
And yeah, we're not telling anyone what that is going to be yet.
I hope it's like some sort of slimy ooze biome or something.
Not gonna say anything.
Well, I'm really excited for that. And that's when is that one going to be coming? You said an update that's going to be maybe about a month away or so?
Yeah, it's actually, I'm aiming for October 21st, so it's coming up here before too long. We just got a few more weeks, really. So I have a lot of work cut out for me. The entire team does, really.
No, I believe it. So, what was the decision with the starting the player off with healing and fire, and just only the one element with the ranged attack capability?
Sorry, I was reading the what Arudanel said.
Arudanel's question. Oh yeah, I'll go ahead and address that if you'd like to.
Hey Bart. By the way.
But watch out for that oil slime.
Yeah. Yeah, let me look at that really quick. Yeah, Rudanel, you should be able to just, if you bought it on my website, that's through the Humble Store, and you could re-download it from the Humble Store, and you can also claim your Steam key. So, um, the link. Well, you should have an account on Humble Store if you bought any games on the Humble Store, which you obviously did. So yeah, I would just go to the Humble Store, and you can like log in up at the top using your email. Sorry, I missed your email. It must have like slipped through my inbox. Depending on the time you emailed me, like sometimes my inbox is pretty crazy during releases. So yeah, sometimes you just have to try again when it's not so crazy.
Oh yeah, there you go, folks. I couldn't remember. I thought I'd posted it earlier, but maybe I didn't. But yeah, we'll have ourselves a nice little base carved out here.
What we should do is lock iBase away from the starting crystal, so anyone who tries to join will just automatically be attacked by a ton of monsters. They can't get in. You have to find your own base.
Well, right now, if you spawn in, you aren't at the crystal. You spawn somewhere, like I spawned in one of the bamboo forest areas.
Really? Is
yeah,
that,
or
like,
maybe I ran to the right or something before I logged out or something. I don't know. But yeah, so now that we have a semi-defensible position, I guess build up and venture out or something. Alright, we got someone else joining this brutal server. Oh, they're there. I guess you do start in this area.
Oh man, there are like a ton of Cortex right there.
Yes, there are. Yes, there
It's
are.
like a ridiculous amount. Oh, I got eyebrow.
Yeah, I ended up kind of descending down below. So if anybody wants to see how the current water physics look, can't remember, where's the breath indicator at? Oh yeah, it's that bubble there. I need to heal.
Yeah, it's right next to your HP. Oh man, that's a deep hole.
There you go. Look at that, everybody. Look how that water spreads around. I should probably get this copper while we're here.
The pig down there.
Yep, it's a pig farm. Water pigs.
Hit one.
Alright. Is fire... Oh, I see. You got a oil sun down there. What's the actual casting range on the fire? Or the column, rather?
It's pretty high. I don't remember the exact details, but it's not bad.
Do you need a line of sight?
No.
I can't hit him from here. Or I'm hitting the wrong location.
I think you just need to get a little closer though. Yeah, you want to use ice for those guys. That will just destroy them.
Let's see, my arcane. Oh, I see. You do start with all the elements.
Yeah. There's chaos down here. Yeah, we got them all. With no deaths. Not bad.
So, which one's Earth?
That's Sylvan, or the brown one?
Okay.
Uh-oh. My game crashed.
Oh no. Oh, yeah, it looks like mine did too.
Did everyone's? It might have been the server.
Yeah. Oh, try joining it again.
Will it automatically come back up?
I think so. I think you set it up to do that. Yeah, here we are.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
And we're back. Yeah, well, there's definitely still lots of bugs in the game. With all the recent changes that we've been making, stability is hard. Especially when you're working mostly by yourself.
Yeah. Alright, let me, now I've actually got all the spell elements, up on my bar here, so I can start
We're just
using them.
blasting that oil slime.
Yep. So the enchant form is for the weapon, right? And the enshroud is a circle?
Yes. And Shroud is this, that's like the storm spells.
Gotcha.
And enchant is where it turns your weapon into elemental damage.
I like this. It really allows a player to make a, basically you kind of use the abilities that you want and kind of make your build using the toolbar and I guess the equipment to supplement it. Pretty neat.
I am venturing deeper down into the depths.
Alright, I will follow right behind you. As soon as I equip torches alongside all of my spells so I can see what I'm doing when I'm trying to cast stuff. That's just how I roll. Alright.
Really want the tool area skill.
Ooh, dang, that's smarts.
Yeah. These guys are no joke.
No, well, no, of course not. We're supposed to be using much more powerful equipment against level 5 stuff. We need to find some chests or something. So, You had been saying that you're, I guess, kind of excited for the update that you're currently working on, the next set of content. You're talking about the new biomes and stuff. I saw there's also some interface updates going into that too. Is there anything about that you want to talk about in particular, or pretty much watch your development streams if we want to see more?
Yeah, I mean, sure, I can talk about it. Yeah, so we're kind of reworking a lot of the UI. We're kind of doing two things with it. One is updating the styling so it just has more space and just looks nicer. And then the other thing is we're actually trying to go through all the UI and make it clearer to use and easier to use. And so we're doing things like um, moving around. Like one thing we want to do is completely change how the HUD is laid out and have like your HP bar up at the top. What was it, your top left corner, and it's much larger with your stamina right below it. So kind of think like Dark Souls or something. And have your toolbar be a vertical toolbar instead of horizontal, and have that be underneath your life. I mean your HP. And so yeah, just trying to make it so that it flows nicer. And then we're working on trying to update some of the systems so that way they are clearer as well. So one example, and probably the best one, is the researching is getting actually a substantial rehaul where the way that you research is going to be a little bit different now, and also it's not going to be so much of a like RNG type thing where you're like, well, I have no idea what these items are for the for this, whatever, this adventurous Maddox, so I'm just going to keep researching things until I get lucky and find the right thing. So we're getting away from that and trying to move more towards actually like providing the players with hints and like what the item is. Oh no, you got killed again. That guy.
Yeah, I was trying to. What's the right element to use against them?
I think melee. I don't think that they're weak against elements for the most part.
Well, I remember them being pretty tough against that too. I'm gonna do a little bit more spending of points on things here real quick, because I know I've got some more to spend. Here we go. Oh, ledge grab. Yeah.
Hey, Cody.
Seems like there's an issue with spending the points on the things in multiplayer. Oh well, joys of multiplayer.
Oh, what's wrong? Is it not being able to purchase it?
Yeah.
Really?
I can't purchase ledge grab, and I can't purchase cartography. I can't purchase. Oh, I was able to purchase jump height up. Cody, we'll talk about that later. Completely off the subject, buddy. That's a lot of Cortus out there. Oh, it's because they have a spawner right out there. Yeah, we're just kind of surrounded in spawners. We really can't take those out with what we've got, can we?
We might be able to if you. I don't know about that. Maybe.
Take a few deaths, I think.
Oh wow, that is a ton of oil slimes out there too. There's like 30 monsters out here. It's ridiculous.
I think we got ourselves some fighting to do.
I'm gonna go do it.
Yep. Let me just the heck do we need for a door?
Oh no, I died.
It's more that you let Quardins and oil slimes in. So now you're
I'm gonna
screwed.
kill them. I'm going to kill them all. Don't worry. Wow. This is so many. Oh, that's not good. It's actually kind of hard to get their attention.
Charge up. Get some fire on my weapon here. Charge up again, get some healing in because I know I need it.
I'm trying to kill these oil slimes and it's kind of hard. Yeah, I just got nuked 3. And then I got hit by a Cordon. Who made this game so hard?
Yeah, that Cordon spawner is going to be tough to take down.
There's so many Cordons that they're just chopping us down. It's pretty funny.
Remind me again, what button is it for the quick dodge?
It's running and like direction, and then press down. Oh man! I'm trying to take that spawner down. Oh no! Oh. Oh man, it is so hard. That is heavily fortified.
And they all just fire at you the moment that you hit it. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's because there's so many people in the game right now that the way that monsters currently scale, like I haven't, tested balancing the game with tons of people in it, and it'll just keep spawning more and more monsters based off of.
We got the spawner. That's tough. Well, it wouldn't be fun if it wasn't a challenge. Now, I've got increased jump on my character, and when I first purchased it, I noticed it turned my character's shoes white.
That's weird. It's because those are actually like basketball shoes, and so you can jump higher with basketball shoes.
Of course, that makes total sense.
Yeah,
actually,
of course.
I mean, if we learned anything from the 90s. Yeah, that's pretty funny though. I don't know. I like white shoes on this character. That's fine.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Crash.
I crashed.
Yeah.
Did you crash as well?
Yeah, full on CTD.
Oh man. Yeah, is host crash. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I was pressing spacebar when it happened, so it just cleared.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Cool.
Shenanigans.
Oh man, I didn't realize that multiplayer would crash this often. That's sad.
Want to stick with multiplayer? Otherwise, I can just switch to single player and you can.
No, I think it's okay. It's not too bad. It's just every 20 minutes or something, it seems like it's gonna crash.
It's not so bad.
Yeah. Obviously, I just need to. I'm gonna actually look to see if I can figure out why it crashed there. But it's. Yeah, I'm trying to actually work through all these bugs that are in multiplayer. We changed so much stuff, like with all the new character animations and controls, and um, there's a bunch of other stuff that we changed. You know, the new magic system, the new combat, all of those changes kind of like made it possible for all these new bugs to happen, and so trying to fix all of those now. Yeah, I don't see. Why it crashed. I don't know what happened to make it do that.
I'm working on the Ortomi spawner. Nice, it's down. There's an oil slime spawner I'm working on here too. Will there be an option at some point to be able to mouse over other players and see their health bars? I just crashed. Assertion failed.
Did too.
Network manager.cpp. So it's going to be something multiplayer related, I think.
Yeah, it's the client is trying to do something that the host does not like. I don't know what it is though. I have to try to figure out why this is happening, and then yeah.
Well, I can help you bug test it another time. I'm just going to switch to single player and kind of continue the progress I had before over on that.
Okay, well, everyone else is free to continue playing that multiplayer game, which is obviously a little broken. Sorry, guys. I will work. Trying to get my chair over here. I will work on getting that multiplayer more stable. Yeah, as like moving forward, we are pretty soon going to kind of be transitioning from the like lots of refinement, iteration on the systems to more of just working on content. And at that point, that's when things are really going to start to stabilize, and we shouldn't have like new bugs at every update, and it should be much more stable before too long. Another like update or two.
That'll be really cool. Ooh, Thunder Keys.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's rather loud.
Oh, okay, here, I'll mute that.
Let me
Yeah, yesterday I was streaming and people couldn't hear me because my like my mic threshold was too low, and so I increased it, and so I guess now you can hear my keyboard.
Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of a weird thing to try to balance everything.
It is. Especially like I have my setup, my mic is literally over my keyboard.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, that's definitely, it's going to be picked up over you for sure.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's no biggie. So, the research system here for anybody who's not familiar. You can basically you find various things in the world and you bring them back to the research table, and depending how far along you are with your research stuff, you can potentially learn more things from it, more recipes, more parts of recipes that aren't complete. But you said that's going to be changing. There's going to be an overhaul to that, right?
Yeah, I can actually share with you what it's going to look like, and if you want, you can share it with people.
Sure. Actually, before I research iron more, let me see if there's any weapons I can make with it. Because I should probably upgrade my sword at some point here. What am I even using?
I think you're using a club, right? You can see if you press E what you have
E, that's
equipped.
correct. Oh yeah, I still do have the club. Let me upgrade that to a more reasonable S word. What do I need? Oops. It's I think leather might be the other thing, or I can't remember what the other thing for broadsword is. I guess I'll have to go and find it. Yeah, that's fine. So, in the past there was the ability to not only craft items from containers, but also from your nearby buddies. Was that, I know that was kind of a bug, not a feature, but, was that something that you had planned to make available if people are, like, grouped up together or whatever? To actually be able to craft off of each other, or was that simply a bug and not really something that should happen ever?
That was an interesting bug, but never an intended feature. I don't know if there's ever actually, like, I don't have any plans to do that, just because, yeah, usually you don't like need your friend to craft something for you, and then like you want to use the inventory. I think it was more confusing than beneficial, is what it really comes down to.
That's fair.
Um, so if I did do something with that, I would need to, like, maybe, in the future, like, clarify where you are getting the item from. So you're like, well, I know this item, like, say it's in your inventory or treasure chest or, your friend. And maybe if we did something like that, then it might be clear. But yeah, I don't know in the future if we will support that or not.
Okay. Definitely was kind of an interesting thing to find.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising. I was like actually really surprised whenever it happened. I'm like, whoa, what's going on there? It was kind of like just with how the system was set up that it made it possible.
Yeah, pretty funny though. I was at some point, I can't remember who it was that kind of was wondering, hey, what happened? I thought I had a bunch of such and such material in my bag.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the one time I had it happen to me was I was like, well, I was crafting something, like I think I was crafting a bunch of lumber, and I ended up using my brother's wood. Like, so I took all of his wood to craft my lumber, and then I got the lumber, and I was able to make some other items, and he was left with no wood that he had gone out and was collecting, and so it's like, oh yeah, it's mine now. Not yours anymore. You can just run up to someone, like basically steal their items by crafting with them, and then run away.
That is actually pretty funny. That's a really weird. That sounds like a weird mechanic that from some sort of like a competitive MOBA game or something. Like, sure, you can go to the middle and try to craft something, but somebody can potentially gank you and then craft with your stuff while your corpse is laying there. Be pretty silly. Is there anything else with lumber that I still haven't researched? Oh, there is. Like bigger boxes, I think. So basically, as things continue to be researched, oh, if you mouse over an item, it's got... Oh, I see what you're saying. There's pound sign, yeah.
Trying to type quietly.
It's tough.
Yeah, my keyboard is kind of crazy. So I just shared with you what the new crafting UI will look like. So actually, I have a few screenshots I could share with you.
Cool. Ooh, that is lovely.
Yeah, and so actually, you'll see here, this is going to somewhat dramatically change how the game works. So yeah, you feel free to share it on the stream. That's fine.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody, we're gonna get to see some exclusive awesomeness. Well, actually, this is stuff that you've been showing in your live streams, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, sometimes I haven't shared it recently,
Gotcha.
but some people may have seen this.
Cool. Let me link that up here so everybody gets a chance to see it.
Yeah, once you do get it up, I can kind of like tell you how it works.
I think that would be the easiest way. So, are you planning to have any events that actually cause parts of the game world and the biomes and stuff to get redrawn and redistributed, or is the game world pretty much how it is when it starts, and more things are added through other means?
Right now, the world is it's pretty close to what it is whenever like it hasn't changed too much throughout the course of the game. There is the conflict system, which will change like which the strength of the monsters and which monsters you'll see in areas, but there aren't too many things that change the world as you play. That was your question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know with like Terraria, when you spoiler alert, everybody, when you beat the boss in the underground area, that the two new biomes get kind of carved through the world.
Right. Yeah, we don't have anything like that planned, and I honestly don't know if we're going to be doing anything like that. W- I'm kind of leaning more towards trying to leverage the realm concept that we have, where instead of changing the main world, you have other realms that you can travel to, and so those realms can either be permanent or temporary, and so you can go to the like you'll unlock new realms that you can travel to instead of having the world itself change.
That's pretty cool. And is that going to be like infinite procedural worlds, or is it going to be kind of like a linear storyline of how you progress through them?
It'll be so whenever you say it'll be both. The like we'll have dungeons that can be randomly generated new every single time. Um, and so those will be like infinitely generated, not like Minecraft where you can keep on traveling in the same world, but like every single time you enter it, it'll be re-random, re kind of re-rolled or whatever.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and then we'll have other realms that are permanent realms that are kind of like the main world, but maybe smaller. They can even be larger. They can be whatever size. And those will, be related to the story, or it could just be other things. Like people could create like a town realm, which is just this town with like NPCs, and you can go travel to it, or whatever. Um,
That's pretty
and so
awesome.
yeah, we'll be so that's already in the game, but we don't use it too much besides the first boss. Well, actually, the first two bosses, and we're starting to use it more and more. Like in this next update, we will be adding in what we call horde realms, which are these realms with lots of monsters in them, and you can only find these realms in heavily populated areas with heavily monster populated areas, and um, you can go in there, kill a bunch of monsters, and then you'll be rewarded with a treasure chest. Um, so it's kind of like a small little quick dungeon or something like that, or like a swarm challenge.
Gotcha. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun for a single and multiplayer. Sounds like there's going to be a lot to do in Korea, that it's not going to really have a limit to the content, because people can just kind of roll up more and keep on going and kind of collect more stuff. It might just be a matter of where the kind of inventory system and where the level ups and stuff kind of taper off at, but that can always be expanded over time.
Oh yeah,
Plus
for
user
sure.
mods. User mods will be a great way to expand the in-game content. Actually, I'm sure people will make some really awesome stuff. And remind me, that was your goal, is that once the game's complete, that you're going to be working with like mod teams and stuff, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So once the game is like pretty close to being done. I mean, like, so after 1.0, some point after 1.0, I would like to kind of start transitioning to working on Crea part time, starting to work on a new project, but also some of the time I spend on Crea is actually spent working with mod team. Make cool mods that I think are interesting, and also just helping like foster the mod community itself. So that is definitely something I want to do.
That is pretty awesome. That is really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it'll
Sounds,
be a lot of fun.
and that's cool that you've got another project that you're looking to do. Do you think it's going to take as long as Korea to make, or are you planning to have something a little bit shorter?
It's going to be shorter,
Okay,
for sure. It's going to be much more contained.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's not as open ended as Korea. It's not go- I don't think I'm going to do a multiplayer game, so another multiplayer game next. So we'll see. I don't know exactly what I'm doing next. Too busy with working on Korea still.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So we've got the screenshots that you linked up here with the beautiful new interface. We've got the armor
Hmm.
page, or the rather the research page, the materials page, and the recipes page up in order here. So if you want to just kind of run us through them, what they're all about, how you get through them, and all of that, that'd be great.
Yeah. So researching, you were showing it a little earlier, where before you would take an item from your inventory, you drop it into this little research box, and then you could pick which category you would research. Um,
Kind of
and
cumbersome.
kind of go and you would learn a few recipes like that, and then those recipes would go into your crafting UI. Um, so now, instead of having to drag and drop items into your research area, we have this that first like tab or category, the researching one. It just populates all of the materials that you can research, and it also, just like crafting, it'll go through all of the nearby inventory. So if you have treasure chests or whatever, you can just automatically use those, and it'll populate it and show you exactly what you can research with at that point in time. And so
Awesome.
then you can just click research, and it'll automatically research it. So you don't have to like, I'm
The
sure
guessing
anyone
game.
who's, sorry, what was that?
I said the guessing game, because
Yeah.
that's actually an issue that I'd had previously. Is if I didn't just mash the innovate skill, I wouldn't be able to get through my crafting advancement because I wouldn't know, what's the next thing that I need to be able to research in order to unlock the next level to get into some of the other things, and then what other things when I level up can I actually research that I hadn't before, of things that I have and of things that I don't have. So it
Mm-hmm.
really wasn't very intuitive. It was a very kind of cumbersome and challenging system. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to what you've got going on here. Didn't mean to cut you off though. Was there?
It's no
Go ahead.
problem. Yeah,
Continue.
so yeah, we got that feedback a lot that like people really like the concept behind researching, but the way that they would go about researching, like the actual mechanics that laid on top of the idea, were kind of, as you said, cumbersome. And so we're trying to make them a little bit more elegant and easier to use, such as just having all of the materials that you can research at that time be pre-populated, so you can see exactly what you can and can't research. There's no like, oh, can I research this item yet because I just leveled up, or can I research this one or whatever. And so that's what that first tab is. Now, and so if you go to the middle section for the materials, you can see all of there's this huge list of materials that will show you the progress of each material, the research progress of each material. And they're split up into these categories such as trophy, crafted, mineral, natural, etc. And those categories are kind of like where you find that item. And then you can see that uh, we don't only list the items that you found. We actually list all of the items in the game, all of the materials in the game. So the materials that you use to craft with or research, and it will just show a silhouette of the icon and then question, question, question. And so that that item exists, but you don't know where it exists, like where you find it,
Yeah.
and well, exactly where you find it. But with these categories, we're hoping that will kind of guide players where they're like, oh, I see this, this silhouette or this icon is in crafted, so I know I need to craft it to be able to find it. And so then if you look at the last page, the recipes, you can see that now we have the incomplete recipes listed out in the research UI, and it will show you the ingredients that you have researched for it so far, and it'll also show you the ingredients that you have not discovered yet, but it'll show you the silhouette of the item. So then you can kind of go between the recipes page and the materials page and kind of match up the icon, the silhouettes, and be able to figure out like, oh, that shaped item is actually found in this this other category, or if
It's a metal you don't
uh,
have yet. It's a ingot shape, and you haven't
yeah,
gotten to gold yet. So process of elimination for sure. I like that. That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
And then also, so one problem that people had with researching is that you would have no idea what some of the items needed to be. And so it's like, oh yeah, like how did I know that I would need like vine for the tanning rack? Let's say that I hadn't researched vine and I had researched the lumber that's above it, that question. I know that's a lumber because I can see the silhouette. I know that's what that looks like. But if you had like vine, you can actually you can see the silhouette and you can see in your inventory what the item actually looks like, and so you can like figure out just by looking at your inventory like, oh, I probably need to research vine in this category to be able to to get this item, or to get the recipe for this item. So yeah, just trying to make the system more intuitive, make it so that players can actually have an impact on it instead of just like randomly researching everything, hoping that they find, there's whatever they're actually really wanting to get. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing with the researching. I think it's going to. I hope it'll be much better. and at least the UI looks better. That is a definitive thing.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks like it's going to be a much faster, much more intuitive, much easier to work with system. Now, the one thing that I'm looking at and wondering, are you going to have imbued and all of that stuff when the player starts a new character, or is it only when they've I guess that'd be more of a thing tied to the world. It's the world altering event that gives access to it, not something tied to the character specifically.
Yeah, right now for it's always there. We don't like hide anything from the player. So I don't know if we're going to or not. Right now, we're just saying that it's available to be seen. You, of course, as a player, you won't know what that is. But so, like, for kind of the goal with this is to show players that there's more to like there's this content to be explored and found and discovered. And so with the imbued, for example, you're like, I have no idea what imbued means, and you're not going to figure out as a player what that means until you have advanced further enough into the game.
Yeah.
And so it'll kind of just be like this question mark for a while, and I think that's okay. And yeah, so that's the purpose. I forgot to mention one thing, which is if you look on the last page, like all the way to the right, there's whenever you're looking at the recipe, there's on the bottom you can there's a price and also there's a research button. So you can one thing that we added in is you can now actually research, or you can opt to skip researching the ingredients and instead just like basically pay for the recipe. I might do this so you can only do it with the researcher, so you're kind of like investing money instead of investing ingredients into researching. You can invest money into it instead. You just like kind of throw money at it or something. And so that would make it so that if you're like, I really want this item, I don't know what these ingredients are, then you can just go ahead and get it.
The only thing I can think of that would have that kind of an issue is things that you would need, like very, very specific items that you only get off of like maybe bosses or paragons or something, or maybe you only get out of like 1 in 100 gold chests. And other than that, I don't really know where spending the money to get the recipe ahead of time is really going to help, because you still need to find the materials.
Right. It's not always going to be helpful, and the way that we set it up, it's a little expensive, so you're not going to be doing it very often. It's
Okay.
more of like I really want to be able to get this item. I don't know what this is. So like, let's say one example is you're researching thematics, and like I think the adventure thematic uses zebra seeds, and you're like, I see that there's this small little like icon that's like a circle, whatever, it's a seed, but they don't know that, and they're like, I have no idea what this is. But they really want that item. It's formatic. You always want to upgrade to the best tool.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and research it, and then they're like, oh, it's a zebra seed. Well, I know what that is. Like I know where to find that, and so then they can go ahead and like, or maybe they've already even seen it, but they like put it in their treasure chest or whatever, and they like haven't used it or whatever. They didn't see that they could research it or something. So I'm imagining it's something that's used kind of as a more last resort, but still an option for people who are like kind of feel like they've exhausted all other options.
Riftdoc, why are you trying to enter the raffle for the game if you've already got the game? And if you can't find a feather, then you need to find a bird. This is what it is. Birds, easy to find. Sometimes hard to
Let's
kill
kill a
early
bird.
on. because you get the
Yeah.
fireball and you got to hit it twice, basically. All right, well, I'm gonna take off the UI preview stuff that you've got
Oh
here
yeah.
and get back to gameplay. But that's really, really awesome. I am really excited for that system to go in. That's going to be quite amazing. But that the only stuff that's changing with the UI, or is there going to be some more stuff that's going to get adjusted?
Oh, that's just one of all of them. They're not all going to be changed as dramatically as that. And to start with, we'll probably only get a chance to do a few of them where like so we want to upgrade all of the styles for this update, but might not be able to upgrade the design for them until later on because my friend is helping out with the design and he's extremely busy with his life, and so
I get you.
yeah, he's not able to help as much, and we have limited time for this update. So, but yeah, in the future we're going to be reworking a lot of things, like the crafting. So the talents UI is already completely restyled, and then the the crafting, we're looking at completely changing how you interface with crafting. So the actual like crafting itself will stay more or less the exact same, but the UI and like how you search and find items will be very different.
Gotcha. That'll be cool. Yeah, I wouldn't say the interface right now is necessarily bad, but I could definitely see how there's a lot of ways, like, what we just saw there and what you just talked about, that it can be, adjusted and improved upon. So, really cool. Really cool. Yeah, so the what I'm kind of doing here for anybody who's wondering is putting down some boxes near the areas for where I'm actually going to use these things. Like, I don't think I'm going to be using metal anywhere other than near the anvil, and if I need it elsewhere, I can just grab it and bring it there. It's definitely an easy way to kind of keep things organized, and the small boxes are actually really, really easy to learn and be able to build, so it doesn't take long to be able to kind of do some inventory management. Leather, that's what I need to research. That's right. I think that's what I need for the sword. And the spear, apparently. There we go. Alright. A mighty S word. So, I really like the concentrate and, those things to improve your ability to, make awesome equipment. Is it still going to be a really long duration for the casting time ones, or is
The
there
cooldowns?
Yeah.
No, I think we're going to change that. I'm not sure exactly how yet, but I now see that the way that we have it designed out just doesn't. I think when we were coming up with that, we were kind of thinking more like MMO style stuff, and now we see that that just doesn't work for this style of game.
Yeah.
Like with those long cooldowns. And so we will be changing it. Either have it be a much shorter cooldown, or just make it so it's not even an active thing and it's more just you always get this, like a passive skill.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would make just the most sense to do it as a passive sort of thing. It's for people who want to actually spend the time and the specificity and that sort of thing. Because I'm finding I have a lot more points for that stuff because I didn't go with Innovate. And while it's taking me a little bit longer to research everything, I'm getting a lot more options and opportunities available. Or, excuse me, options and opportunities for the non-innovate upgrade, so I can make better items.
Right.
And I like better items. That's why upgrade something and have default version of it when you can have an awesome version of it. So let me. I need to build up my defenses here a little bit more. There we go. Alright, and then when you cast those, you have to be careful because the next thing you craft is going to use those buffs. So if you craft something that's not the thing that you're making, like if I craft some ingots right now, I think it's just going to eat the buffs. Oh, I need more leather. I can't craft more leather, can I?
Yeah, or maybe one design that we might do is make it so it's a not make it so it doesn't run out after you craft an item. So it's more of like you can craft these items for 10 minutes or whatever, and then it has a cooldown of like, I don't know, 20 minutes or whatever or something. So like you kind of, I guess it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're.
I think that'd be pretty fair. Like, just you can only craft for a few minutes, but you can craft multiple things, and then you have a cooldown for a while. Because that's really the big thing. Is when I go to craft, I'm not going to craft one item and then go back to adventuring. I want to craft one item and then the upgrade for it, and then the next upgrade, and then the next upgrade, and then do that for 3 or 4 items, and then finally go back out in the field and be able to take on much tougher stuff. That's really the big thing for me, and so it's a slow pace if I want to upgrade everything with maximum value right now. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be nice when that gets adjusted, and that'll also be in the next major update, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably. We're looking at trying to try to balance a lot of stuff, but it's mostly a matter of us being able to get around to it. We have so much planned for this update; it's like ridiculous. I think I'm trying to kill us all with how much work I have for us to do. Not going to be sleeping very much.
Well,
it's okay though. It'll be worth it. It will be worth it.
I'm excited for it. I hope everyone in chat there is excited for it too. It should be pretty awesome.
Yeah, one thing that we're doing with this complete new like UI redesign is trying to make sure that controls make sense for the UI design. So that way, I'm hoping in the update after next or around then, in the next 2 to 3 updates, add in controller support, like full controller support.
That'll be cool. I know it had been requested by a few people. Seems weird to me because the mouse it seems like it makes more sense for me for the game, but who am I to say what's right?
Well, I think so. I honestly think I'm going to be using the gamepad over mouse and keyboard just because I think that the combat will feel much better with the actual gamepad, where you can use, how I'm imagining it is, you have one joystick, controlling your movement, and another one controlling where you're looking, and then you can easily, just attack with A or yeah. I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet, but I think it's going to feel a lot more intuitive than for combat than with a keyboard and mouse.
I gotcha.
We'll see though. It's still a little ways away. I want to make sure that the game is a little bit more solid before we go ahead and do something like add in the controller support. Just because with something like that, if we then decide to change, mechanic of the game, then the controller support might have to change as well. And so it's just like one more thing that we'd have to update with.
I gotcha.
So I'm curious, what do you think of the new combat and the new magic system? Are you enjoying it and the changes?
I like the new magic system, except it still takes up way too much of the UI. I think what I would prefer is a two-button system where I can assign one button to add charges for the element that I've selected, and another button that I can press that brings up basically an element selector. Just a real quick way that I can choose which one I'm trying to use. So that way I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to, A, I don't need nearly as much room on the bar, and B, I can switch between them a lot quicker. I think that would be the easiest way, because that's ultimately the real functions that you've got with the element selection. Is you've got the feature where you're selecting one compared to a different one, and then the other feature is when you've got one selected and you reuse it, it adds a charge. So just being able to add a
Right.
charge by a different method and being able to select by a different method, pretty much the same thing a different way, and I think it would work a little bit better. Maybe either like a ring system, like Secret of Mana, where you click it once and you press left or right and select on a ring, or you press it and then you press a direction, or up, down, left, right, or you press the select button again for the healing element.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would probably be the quickest and probably most intuitive way, and probably make it the most accessible for everybody. But other
I'm
than
curious, are you using the secondary toolbar at all?
I just started using the secondary toolbar specifically for crafting related stuff.
Okay.
Don't really need too much on the primary toolbar. Mining, weapon, because it's Q to switch between primary and secondary, and I like that. I really appreciate being able to switch between primary and secondary like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I was hoping that um it I could, set it up with this new having the two toolbars, that you could have one that's like dedicated to magic and combat, and then the other one that's dedicated to like building and crafting or whatever. And so then the player would have enough toolbar space to be able to perform these different, to perform all of the magics. I do understand though that it's still like not like, it still does take up a lot of space, and switching through the element is kind of like hard. Like if you want to have all five on your toolbar, that requires three slots, and then you have to remember which one's in what, and then you have to, yeah, it's kind of, it's a little harder. But at the same time, like, I'm not sure of the best way to go about adding controls for that. We already have so many controls. And yeah, I'm just not sure, like, how to best do that yet.
I getcha. Definitely something that'll probably take a little experimentation, and trying to find what feels
Right.
right, and what also kind of makes sense for the interface and the control scheme for the game, and the aesthetics too. Do you have are you planning to switch out and have different shapes for the symbols as well? Because I think one thing that would kind of help with is for color deficient players to be able to pick between the elements more rapidly if they can't discern one color from another very well.
Yeah, actually, we do plan to do that. So like, I don't know if you caught on to this, but these elements are actually tied to what we call air in the game, which are the like deities, the gods.
Yeah.
Um, And so we're going to have a unique symbol for each one that will represent that error. Um, we just didn't have enough time in this last update to do that. Um, so we're actually, let me see if I can find it. Um, I have another image I can share with you.
Cool.
It's kind of more it's a little rougher than the researching, but it's still, I think it's an improvement. Let me find.
The stuff that I can't finish researching, I just need to put in the baskets, or the boxes rather. Let's get them out of my way here. So, you're still planning to have the personal inventory increases tied to the pouches, right?
Yeah, we may be changing that. I'm not sure yet. Still trying to figure that one out. But yes. Okay, I finally found that. And I'll share it with you.
Cool. All right. Oh wow, that's a really interesting. Being able to see the full interface there.
Yeah, so that's something that we're playing around with for the new HUD. So you can see it's very different.
Yeah, give me just a moment to actually get it up on the screen for the folks here.
Yeah, no problem.
We start talking about it and they can't see it.
Like, what are they saying? Let me see. Let me see.
Okie dokie. Let me link it up here. Image. Okie dokie. There it is, folks. Here, I'll make it a little bit larger so you can all see it a little bit better. Alright. So, talk us through this interface. What's it all about?
Yes. So, like I said, this is just a mock-up right now. It may change dramatically, but the idea is to try to bring a larger focus to the health and stamina, because now, like before, well, they're kind of like hidden down at the bottom, and it's a little hard to see, and so we want to showcase that more. And then so yeah, that's up at the top, and you can see in the very top left corner there's that like circle with the fireball in it. So that was just a placeholder, but that would represent which area you are channeling, and so it'd have a different symbol depending on which area you're channeling instead of a status effect. And then there's that little bar that kind of wraps around it, and so that will fill up based off of how many channeling points you have, and so you'll actually see it like kind of getting stronger or whatever, and so how much how many channeling points you have, and you'll see that number be increasing and decreasing much easier than how you currently see a tiny little number next to a stats effect. Then below that we have the stats effects there. Of course, you normally won't have that many. That was something that my friend was just playing around with, trying to make sure, like seeing what the space would look like if it was full. And then below that we would have the toolbar, and so you can see that has that changes quite a bit. It now has the one and two is much clearer. You
Yep.
can tell that those are like separate toolbars, and then by making it vertical like that, we can actually have that right the right item slot move up and down based off of which item you have selected, and I think that's going to clarify how the toolbar works so much more than it currently does, because right now I think it's not really obvious that whatever toolbar slot you have selected, that is the exact same item that's in your left slot, and then there's a right toolbar, I mean there's a right item connected with that. And so it's not obvious that those two items are kind of like tied together, or there's two slots. But with this vertical approach, we can actually achieve that by having the right item slot move up and down paired with the left one, and then you only see the right one, so that way we can kind of keep it more trim, and maybe even make an option where if people want to, they could like expand it out so they can see all of the items always or something.
Yeah.
And so
I can definitely see how if you had all of the items expanded, they would think toolbars 1 and 2 are just kind of being indicated by those little tabs at the bottom, and it's, they're both 1 and 2 are on there, rather than that being, the left clicks for toolbar 1 and the right clicks for toolbar 1 on the right of it. So yeah, this is definitely a much cleaner and more intuitive way to communicate it. I really like it.
I like it a lot too. And yeah, so I really want to get this in this update, but it's going to be a tight schedule. And so then you can see in the upper right corner, we have a monster like selection, and so you can actually select monsters and see what their stats are up there.
Nice.
And you'll be able to see what their status effects are. And then below that we have the like different interface buttons that you can select, and that will be something that can kind of like be hidden, so kind of like slide out of view, leaving just a little tab that you can like click on to pull out the entire thing. Because once you get further into the game, you've played for a while, you know what all of the like hotkeys are to open those up. You need to press I to get you to your inventory, or E for the equipment, and so you might not need those, so we'll hide them so that they don't take up space.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think overall this is mostly a win. Some of the things that we're trying to, or that is holding this back a little bit, is that with the what is currently in the game, it's all on the bottom, and so like while that kind of is a negative point, that it's very heavy, like it's heavy on the bottom, and there's nothing else anywhere else, and also it's very like cluttered, I think, on the bottom. But what that does give players is like this sense of openness, where everything above it is open, so you have this open sky, and it kind of helps, I think, make the world seem like much more open and just like free. And with this new UI, it does kind of box things in.
Actually, this new UI allows people to see what they're doing when they're at the very bottom of the world, because right now the UI bar blocks you and you can't really tell what's going on. So this actually works a little bit better for that.
Yeah, for that. But at the same time, which is something that I kind of don't like, is that we have these sidebars, so if you won't be able to see what's directly on the side of your screen. So if you're playing with a smaller resolution and a monster's like coming in on the side, you won't be able to see them as easily. I don't know. That's probably not that bad of a thing if you're playing on a larger screen. But yeah, so it's like I said, this is something that we're working on. But this is the direction that we're kind of moving toward as well.
Really cool. I'm really excited for the look of it. It looks like a lot of fun. I like the way the spells work now is pretty cool, and how it's going to be represented there is going to be very, very, very intuitive. And I also like that it kind of lets you know kind of what the limit on charges is.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that will help a lot. That's one of the reasons why I really want to get this in for this next update. And so,
Cool.
yeah, like I was starting to say, I mean, what brought this all up is whenever you channel an error, now, so on the toolbar and the icon itself will have a unique symbol, and then also appear next to your health bar, you'll see the um,
The symbol for that
you'll
error.
you'll see the full symbol there. It's actually pretty similar to what Dark Souls does with their covenants.
Neat.
Have you played that?
I've seen a bit of gameplay. I haven't played it
You need
myself
to
yet.
play that. It's so
Yeah,
good.
that's
So
what I've been
good.
hearing.
So good.
Maybe if a Game of the Year edition comes along and Who's Gaming Now gets
Yeah.
a chance to do some giveaways and demos for it, I'll be able to get some of that action in.
Yeah, definitely.
So we had a couple of questions there. One of them is, how do you make a mod for Crea?
Oh, that's a big question. We actually have a here. I can just post a link. One of our community members made this great tutorial on our forums. So give me just a moment to find that, and it's very helpful.
Awesome.
All right, coming up. Yeah, I saw one or two other questions. Aru Daniel asked if I would be distributing templates to make armors. Yeah, actually, so all of the items, like the templates, oh, do you mean the graphical templates? So those are actually in the game as well. But yeah, we'll probably make some like quick little um, like template that describes what each item is. So it actually makes a little bit more sense. But we do have those in the game already, where you can look at the templates. What are you doing? Running around with that heal spell?
No. Well, I had the healing radius on, yeah. But I
Yeah.
was working on taking out some of these fellas here.
Almost got out. You got that one.
Yeah.
And were there any other questions?
I guess another question is, how can the community get more involved with the game? What kind of stuff would really help you from the community right now? Anything in particular?
So just well, yeah, there's tons of things that people can do to, help out. I really want to try to make Korea a two-way community where it's not just people helping me, but I'm also helping them. And so people, and I think we can kind of help each other. But like, so I started doing scheduled live streams, and I have two. One is where I kind of help people, and the other one's where they help me. So workshop Wednesdays, where people can join my live stream, and I will starting really soon. I'll start doing like kind of tutorials on how to make different mods. So, you know, one week I'll do like how to make a new sword, or another week I'll do like how to make a new biome or something like that.
Nice.
And so I'll be doing that on Wednesdays. And then on Fridays, I have Feedback Friday, where players can come in and provide feedback on the game, and tell me some of the things that they have been enjoying about the game, some things that they could see using improvement. I'm really looking for like why they feel that way for most of the case. Like, why do they like this thing, or why does this thing make them frustrated while they're doing it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second part of that live stream, I do I actually implement some of that feedback. So yesterday I was working on completely changing how monsters are leveled up, and so now monsters are going to have static levels, and they're not going to auto level with your character. And consequently, we're changing a lot of other things with that. But that was something that I've heard from the community a lot, that a lot of people weren't enjoying because of the lack of progression, or the lack of sense of progression, and a few other things. So yeah, that's one way you can just help out, is joining those live streams. Always sharing the word, telling people about Crea, making mods once we get workshop support out, which will be in this next update. And yeah, so lots to do to help out with. And I'm trying to think if there's other stuff, but I think those are the biggest ones, is helping provide feedback, reporting bugs. Oh yeah, reporting bugs is another one. And then always. And then just telling people about the game.
Cool. Well, that sounds easy enough. And of course, buying the game if they don't have it.
Yeah, that's always appreciated as well.
Well, so I'm starting to kind of get through the biomes a little bit and get chased by some different things. I've got to say, though, that that fire circle, pretty brutal. I took out a bunch of those oil slimes really quickly with it.
Yeah, it is pretty OP. How do you like the tree shaking?
It's pretty nice.
I added that in like this one day. I'm like, I'm gonna try to do this, and it only took me like maybe an hour or two to do.
Nice.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Good touch.
You want to use ice on those guys, on the boars, the Taurens. I mean, yeah, they're super weak to ice.
Yeah, just needed to get a little healing up first. And ice circle time. Haha, that melted it. Oh, it's a Paragon.
Or tell me.
Yeah. Nice. This is my first time seeing one. I remember seeing the art for it a while back, but first time seeing one actually implemented. What's the element for them?
I don't know if they are weak to a specific element. Let me see, I'll cheat. Earth is what they are weakest to.
Good to know. Alright. Let's charge up some earth and get a circle going.
Yeah, they're actually resistant to fire and wind. Yeah, Ben, that's right. All of monsters have weaknesses and strengths to elements, which is actually why we have all of these elements. We, so it's something we're slowly working towards trying to get more and more into the game is having this whole element system where you want to try to find not only like so you for each monster you can learn how their attacks work and how to fight them, but also what elements they're weak to and strong against, and knowing how to fight them that way. Oh no, did you die from poison?
Yeah, it was poison.
Oh, no.
That's fine. I can finally do
Brutal.
the thing I need to do. Unfortunately, the buffs are up. All right. So, sword time. Broadsword craft. Broadsword of recovery, +4 HP regen and luck. So now I actually have HP regen.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Good upgrade. Of course, that's just the very beginning. Got a lot more to go from there. Definitely getting to that greatsword would be nice, but
Yeah, greatsword's amazing. Davy boy, there's a penalty for dying, which is that you lose you gain a buff for staying alive for a long time, which is the perseverance buff, and you get bonus XP and TP while having that buff. And so if you die, you lose that. Hey, it's cold meat.
so what's the support form then?
Support form. That's a bunch of miscellaneous spells like for Ignix fire, support is haste, and for earth or Sylvan, it's stone skin, and for Sano, which is healing, it's revive. So if you're playing multiplayer, there's actually a revive spell.
Nice. That's helpful.
Yeah. It's only useful in multiplayer though.
Still helpful to have. Alright, so that's haste then. I believe, yep. And is that attack speed, move speed, run speed? What does
haste is attack speed. So you can attack, I think, like 20% faster or something like that.
Yeah, carve those oil slimes up pretty quickly. Cool. Let's see. And you can have all of them up at once, right?
Yes.
Cool. That looks like an armor sort of thing. Stone skin. Protection from 100 physical damage. So that's just kind of front-end damage absorption.
Is that stone skin? Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that it just blocks straight up damage, like, there it is, 100 hit points, basically. Yeah. So it'll block like 1 or 2 hits, so you can see it just...
And I'm sure it levels up too.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure it does. So yeah, it's good for a few hits. It's good, like, let's say you want to jump down this huge hole or whatever, you can put up stone skin and jump down, and it'll absorb a bunch of fall damage.
And I see Veil is a similar sort of thing. It just completely negate the next 2 hits.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a little bit different. So with stone skin, it just blocks a straight, just a straight up number, whereas Veil, it'll block just I think like 2 hits. And so eventually we'll be adding in more interesting attacks for monsters, and maybe some monsters will have like multiple attacks where it could do like a 3-hit attack very quickly and only deal like 5 points of damage for every hit or whatever. So stone skin would be much better for that, whereas like if you go up against this huge heavy hitting monster, Veil would be the side effect that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the ice one? Because it doesn't appear to be fully defined right now.
Mm. Yeah, we're still working on um, getting the descriptions better. But the ice one is dispel. So we don't really that doesn't have too much use for yet. But it'll be we're going to be adding in buffs for monsters so they can buff themselves.
Gotcha.
Um, and so dispel would be to get rid of those buffs.
Now, would the idea be that the buffs will make them even more powerful than when you encounter them, or is it more
Yeah.
that they'll be weaker before they get their buff on, and then the buff brings them to their kind of normal power level?
The former rather than the latter.
Okay.
So they would be like maybe one idea might be maybe we have this one monster which is like kind of like this mother monster, or maybe we have like a Paragon Torrent or something like that, which has this unique buff where it will, I mean, this unique attack where it will make all the like other Torrents nearby have this like haste, or maybe some other maybe like what is berserk mode or something like that, where they get plus 100% attack power, but they only do something else or whatever. So like if you're fighting them, you might want to like just dispel those to try to weaken them or something like that.
I getcha.
Yeah.
Or enemies that just exist to support other ones and don't really do any attacks of their own. You definitely see that. I could see that being something for the glow bats, where they, if they get near you, it causes them to maybe create an aggro radius that, if you dispel, that everything else doesn't start swarming on you. Otherwise, everything starts swarming on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could see dispel not just for the enemies, but of course yourself or your buddies. If you got like a burning debuff or something that's gonna last a while, I could see that being as a way to get it off.
Yeah, I think it is also useful for negative side effects. I kind of forgot about that. A lot of side effects don't last for that long, and with how things are currently set up, like if you do have a negative side effect on, by the time you would be able to like switch over to switch over to the correct element, so like ice, and then be able to finally cast that support spell, it might have kind of been too late to get rid of it. So yeah.
So what's the Oh, go ahead.
And I was just saying, I saw, I'm lagging behind you a little bit. I saw you got stuck in a hole with a bunch of oil slimes.
Yeah, no, it's that's where my door's at there. So what damage element is the column if I use it from Sano?
That's non-elemental magic damage.
Ooh, so that would actually help against some things.
That's right, yeah.
Nice. Get the Tenebris back with their own poison. Because they're also doing that element, right? Their columns
Right.
are.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
cool. Good to know. But you don't get it in projectile form. You only get it in the column.
That's right. Yeah, the projectile, or we call it now the base form, is healing.
Yeah. Alright, well, this is the end of the 2 hours that were kind of scheduled for the show here, so I'm going to little wrap up,
Raffle.
but then after that, I'm actually going to keep on playing for another hour because I'm having fun, and if you want to stick around, feel free. If not, I know you, I'm sure you have plenty of other awesome stuff that you've got going on, so.
Yeah, I think I need to get back to work. I can stick around and chat, but I'll need to get off of the call. But yeah, everyone else should stick around for sure.
Cool. Alright, well, thank you all for coming, and getting a chance to meet Jason McMorris, this awesome, handsome fella, up on the screen above me here. He's the one
Thanks for
who's
having me.
behind Crea here, and if he wasn't here, there would not be a Siege Games, there would not be a Crea, and things would not be as awesome because this game is totally awesome. It brings the awesome.
Thanks.
So I'm really excited. Like every time I play it, I enjoy what I get to play, and I know that there's going to be more awesome stuff coming. And every time you deliver on
Every
that,
time.
so next update going to be pretty magical.
Oh, definitely. It will be.
Cool deal. All right. Well, I'm going to end the call here then, and kind of wrap things up. So.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks again for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I will catch you later.
Yep. See ya.